I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
From the top to the bottom, I was raised to be solid. Real at every angle, I ain't worried about the audit. Never see the hate, tunnel vision on the profit. Boss moves if I want it, best believe I cops it. Team so tough, moving silence like the mafia. Trying to get the foreign whip, probably name it Claudia. Wife rockin' Tiffany, that's just another day to me. I be living lavish, that's why these haters be hating me. Stronger than I ever been, never break, never bend. God first, family second, money is like next to kin. So if you come in for me, pull the trigger, guard and shoot. Kevlar mindset, lifestyle bulletproof. Bulletproof, built tougher than your average. Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package. Bulletproof, I know you see me in your scope. I'm the captain of the ship, you just a sailor with a boat. Bulletproof, built tougher than your average. Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package. Bulletproof, I know you see me in your scope. I'm the captain of the ship, you just a sailor with a boat. Bulletproof.
What's up, everybody? You are on the Bulletproof Mafia, and I am Michael Munsterman. Today's episode, fuck Pancake. So one of the things that I think makes you successful when you're in the business of communication is your ability to think through what you're going to say next. And what I found is that there are these really not so sophisticated ways that people communicate. I'll give you a for example. Hi, my name's Michael Munsterman, and I want to tell you a story about this experience that I had a few years ago with my car, and it was it was a pretty good car. It drove pretty good, and I used it to get around a lot. Okay, so I'm not going to torture you with that. But here's something, like, that's the least sophisticated, these words should never be used inside of the way you communicate. And so what I want you to do the next 24 hours of your life is I want you to think not only about others, but about yourself in this conversation. I want you to listen to the words that I use as examples. I think you'll find that even if you listen to me close enough, there are some days that when I go back and listen to the podcast, I'm like, come on, bro, fuck Pancake. And so what's fuck Pancake? So inside of a mastermind that I'm in, some guys that we hold each other accountable inside of business, one of the things that we do is communicate daily inside of a Voxer app. So in Voxer, we get on here, we talk about all sorts of different aspects of our lives. And what I began to notice was that people were getting lackadaisical in their communication, including myself. And so I went back and I listened to something and I thought, oh, that's just not going to cut it. And so I got on the next post and I said something along the lines of this. Hey guys, it's Michael. I just want to talk to you guys for a second because I'm listening to the old posts and I'm realizing that we're using a lot of fill words. Like we're filling in the gaps with nonsense words just to fill in the gaps. And we're taking these long pauses, and even every once in a while I'm throwing out a, well. So every time I do that moving forward, I'm going to replace my with a fuck. Fuck, I can't communicate very well. Fuck, I'm frustrated right now. Fuck, I don't want to communicate like a low-level, like entry-level communicative salesperson. I don't want somebody who's struggling to string words together. So if I begin to, and I hit it with a, I'm going to say fuck, so that you guys will know that I need to learn how to communicate better. And I started something. The other guys are on there like, yeah, we're going back and listening. The more you mention it, and after you ran about it for a while, yeah, we're doing the same thing. And one of the guys on the thread has a mill. Fuck. Like, this is the way you do this, right? If the F word offends you, this is not going to be a good episode for you. So it's a really good time right now. I'm going to play this lovely elevator music while you exit the ride. Okay, so if you're still with me, here's the thing. Fill words are bad in communicating. They just are. So what are some things that you can say to buy yourself time inside of communication? Well, and, you see, I hate, but there are more sophisticated versions. I'll give you some examples. For example, one of my absolute pet peeves, just to be really honest with you, Michael, just to tell you the truth, I'm going to go on ahead and just tell you the truth right now. First of all, fuck. Fuck because you're just buying time. And fuck because I'm frustrated that you think that this is an appropriate thing to do. Like literally, you just said to me, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. What about everything else you've said up to this point? You're the worst communicator in the world. Anytime somebody says, if you listen to this and we're friends and you say to me, to tell you the truth, I'm instantly going to want to punch you in the face with, what have you been doing this whole time? But more than that, I just want to scream, fuck! The reason I want to scream fuck is because you're just filling with nonsense words. And fuck is kind of a fill-in nonsense word. It doesn't mean anything, but it means everything. It's like this thing you can say to your buddies to get them to kind of lean a little bit closer and trust you a little bit more, but it's also this word that you can offend massive amounts of people with, but at the end of the day, it's a 4-letter word that doesn't mean shit. But yet it means everything. The same as, Like I can say, a lot of different ways. Like, or I can say, I can say, like what I just did there. Exclamation point, question mark, blank space. So, like, at the end of the day, I want you to look at this. I want you to listen to the way that people communicate. If you've ever been in a situation where you've kind of chuckled with your friends and you've counted the number of words that somebody says, it's not rocket science. You're just hearing their fuck pancake. So back to my buddy with the mill. I almost tangented away from this. My buddy with the mill does not like to swear. He will, but it's not his preference. His preference is he'd rather not do it. So he said, like in my world, I can't run around my office or around church or around my employees and scream fuck all the time, but I'm going to break myself of this habit too. So I'm going to say pancake. And so inside of our little community, the conversation became anytime somebody would say, we would say, fuck pancake. All it is a call out on you to sharpen the blade of your most powerful tool, which is your ability to communicate. I've taught massive amounts of salespeople scripting. And if the thing about a script is this, if you learn the core framework of a script, you learn how to communicate a desired message, you can then later put a spin on it and make it your own. The better you understand the script, the better you can deliver the message, the better you'll be at closing, the better you'll be at connecting, and the better you'll be at surveying the person, I almost said opponent, the person/customer that you're communicating with. You get to see their nonverbal cues because you're not thinking about what you're saying anymore. You're thinking about how they're perceiving what you're saying. You can put your own spin on it. You can do this. You can do that. But you become very exposed when you try to communicate with somebody about something that you're not comfortable with, or if you just don't practice communication enough. Because you begin to fill in with nonsense. Fuck pancake. Well, you see, Michael, fuck pancake. Well, you see, Michael, fuck pancake. Like, I just want you to get it. The most powerful tool you can use when you communicate is this. It doesn't make you any dumber. It doesn't make you less effective. In fact, it makes you sound more sincere. And if you can get strategic in the use of blank space, pause, quiet, voice inflection, speed, tonality, you get the ability given. Like you sharpen. So here's one that I use often. You'll notice now because I'm going to call myself out on it. Like. This is a big one right now for lots of people. Like, fuck pancake, fuck pancake, fuck pancake. Fuck pancake. Get it. When you hear bullshit words that if you can remove them without getting you farther along, you need to say fuck pancake. But if you can learn how to use pauses and silence more effectively, if you can learn to speed it up or slow it down, if you can learn how to elevate your voice, lower your voice, your eye contact, everything that plays into it, you won't feel the need to fill your words with garbage. Like right there, I could have held off because fill your words with garbage was kind of garbage. What I meant to say was fill your sentences with garbage words. But if I wouldn't have went back and corrected myself, you wouldn't have known. And it would have sounded better saying the words in the wrong order than it is to say, actually what I meant, like fuck pancake, fuck pancake, fuck pancake. You should be rolling right now because there's probably somebody in your world who you're thinking about, man, that person says the exact same thing all the time. I literally sit in our business meetings and I count how many times they say, well, because the way infrared light works is this. It heats a room by hitting objects in the room, because the sun heats the earth with the same kind of infrared light. And because we wanted to build this, like, you get the point. Like, I'm being absurd, but just this is a little thing, but it's a big thing. This is a foundation block in how you communicate with people in your world. And I had a conversation today that just about drove me crazy. I had a salesperson who called me on the phone. That's why I'm on fire about this. And everything this guy wanted to say, I just want to say, fuck pancake, fuck pancake, fuck pancake. Every other sentence. And what the fuck was that? Fuck pancake, fuck pancake, fuck pancake. Literally right now, I feel like I'm going to remove it, Phil, hit the elevator music again. Okay, now I'm letting everybody back on the elevator who we don't want their ears to bleed anymore. Here's the point. The point is that the way you communicate tells a lot about your intellect. It also shows a lot about your insecurities. The smarter you try to sound, the faster you try to talk, sometimes the less intelligent you come across. Sometimes the very best thing that you can do in the way that you communicate with people isn't always in what you say, but it's in what you don't say. I have a podcast way earlier in my podcasts that's called The Power of Silence. And silence can be a strategic weapon, but it's way more powerful than And we've seen all sorts of ticks. I had this guy, I didn't think he could ever sell a heater, right? And this guy would literally, he would be talking and would like tick on you. Like this weird, like, I don't know what that noise is going to transition like across the radio, but he would just make that noise randomly. And what it was, when you would talk to him in normal conversation, he wouldn't make that noise. But when he began to sell, he had somehow, like, I don't know if this was a knee-jerk thing that he did, but he would just randomly fill the gap with a It was the craziest thing. And it wasn't like a medical tick because, again, the rest of the time you have a conversation with this guy, he could do it. And some guys, especially the guys who work for me or who have worked for me, know that I'm a bit of a word ninja. I'm very comfortable. I can talk about almost anything with some basis of knowledge. And if I can't, I'm quick to say, I don't know much about this, but I would liken what you're saying to XYZ. And then I would see if we could create some common ground, some neutrality in the conversation, and I would feed very quickly off of why they would tell me I was wrong, or what they would tell me that their thought actually was, or how that corresponds, or how it doesn't correspond, and how all of that gets pulled together in conversation. I would rather be that guy than the one who just tries to blurt out a bunch of nonsense, who fills in the gaps with And again, I just want to point out, there are lots of these that are much more sophisticated. So have some fun. Evaluate yourself. And when you hear yourself filling your conversations with and uhs, replace it with a fuck pancake. It'll just be funny. You'll be talking to someone and you'll be like, well, fuck Pancake. What did you just say to me? Oh, nothing. You don't have to explain it. But when you're watching others for it, I don't think it's a great idea if you scream at them, fuck Pancake. And if you listen to some of my previous podcasts, I do this sometimes. One of the words that I use is interesting. So I've intentionally not used the word interesting in this podcast. Isn't that interesting? But I begin to notice this in everyone around me. I watch for those words and I break them in anybody who's in my organizations because I want them to be clear, concise communicators with a mission and a purpose behind their words. Not just somebody who rambles and fills with nonsense and voided space with bullshit words that mean absolutely nothing more than a fuck pancake. I think part of your ability to navigate this world and to be the best version of yourself, to communicate at work, I'm having fun in this episode, but it's a real message I want you to get. This thing of communication is a craft. And your ability to craft strategically what you're saying and why, and deliver it in a manner that's seamless and smooth and pointed, is directly proportionate to your ability to scale and succeed. If you can string sentences together that articulate your point, that drive home a message, that do so without stomping on the emotional capacity of those around you, without kicking people randomly in the nuts just because you're trying to figure out what you're trying to say. If you can do that, you'll find that your ability to leverage those relationships and strategically make their life better, your life better, all of it gets easier. And when you catch yourself filling in with words like that, just hit yourself with the fuck pancake. This is kind of redundant. I'm going over it again and again and again. One, because it's kind of fun to say fuck pancake. But two, because I just want to drive this point in so that when you quit listening to this particular podcast, you've got some marching orders. So go have fun with it. See who around you needs a fuck pancake. Savvy?
Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package, bulletproof. I know you see me in your scope. I'm the captain of the ship, you just a sailor with a boat. Bulletproof, built tougher than your average. Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package, bulletproof.
Whoa,
I know
okay,
you
stop.
See me in your scope.
Here's what happened just now. I took the headphones off. Phil, who hears every message, the only Eames, follow him on social media because this is going to be funny. The only Eames tells me, is it cool if I'm not here tomorrow? I've got a radio interview. All right. First of all, you didn't get that time off approved, Phil, and so I'm putting this on camera. Secondly, I would have let you go until you didn't even listen to this entire podcast. So, officially and publicly, you, sir, are the first person that I'm going to deliver a big old fat fuck pancake to because you didn't pay attention. Now we can discuss the possibility of you not being here tomorrow because you have a radio interview with not a single fucking in it. All right, dude. Sorry I clowned on you, but I had to get that on there. So now, roll the outro music.
Bulletproof, built tougher than your average. Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package, bulletproof. I know you see me in your scope. I'm the captain of the ship, you just a sailor with a boat. Bulletproof, built tougher than your average. Ultimate hustler, I'm the total package, bulletproof. I know you see me in your scope. I'm the captain of the ship, you just a sailor with a boat. Bulletproof.